Let's talk about Korea. No, not Kim Jong-un Korea. Let's talk about South Korea, Jeju Island. Let's talk about the home place of solo leveling. I alone level up. Let's talk about the greatest place on the planet. The place where if you go up the street, you can get your skin bleached because they care about skin bleaching here, because being more white in Korean society, skin-wise, is viewed as more pure. I've been there before. I know how it's like. They also don't have deodorant for some reason. Mostly because they have a specific trait inside of them called AABBCC or something of that variety. Something right here. You can see it on the screen right there, where they don't perspirate as deeply as other races. There are differences genetically between other races. Just in case you don't know that black people are more prone to sickle cell. That's just how the world goes. But today, I'm going to talk about something that's been on my mind for quite some time. I'm CROS TV, Ceros TV, and my brain is full. My brain is full of weirdness, of anger, of vitriol. My brain is full because I have been researching the deep racist roots against black people in Korea. Now, if you don't know about K-pop, K-pop is the biggest white phenomenon. If you've been on Twitter for more than 20 minutes, you realize how deep and intricate the love of K-pop is throughout the entirety of Twitter. You'll see somebody arguing, Jimin is amazing, Park Sung-young is outstanding, you can't compete against Hoo Le-young, Hyuna is amazing, I love Psy. Psy is, let's talk about Psy, guys. Gangnam Style, you guys remember Gangnam Style? Yeah, good old days. That song went crazy viral. In the absence of that, why is it so popular? Because it takes elements from hip-hop and black culture. Now, you may be saying to yourself, no, it doesn't. Well, let's look at a direct quote from one of the influencers. Let's talk about one of the direct quotes from one of the managers. He said right here, he gets direct influence, saying that he does enjoy the aspects of black culture and things of that variety. You can see it right on the screen. This is from an interview. Even summarize, is this person from Happy Hippo, a Reddit user, summarized the points right here. He translated another article stating the points that yes, K-pop does take heavy inspiration from black media. As a matter of fact, not even just K-pop in this variety, most Asian cultures love the idea of black culture but hate the people. That's generally how it operates. You don't want to be too dark or anything of that variety, but a lot of cultures do appreciate. In Thailand, there's cosplay right here, as you can see on screen, where they have a whole festival where they just cosplay black people. It's a whole thing. The idea of the black caricature, what's getting shown in Friday and movies of that variety. Even in Japan, there are places where they have reggae hair or black Afrocentric hair. It is viewed as a love and appreciation of the culture of black people, and a lot of black people in America hate it because they think it's, you know, appropriation. They're trying to appropriate it and make it their own and take it and cannibalize it. But this is just, to me, in this instance, right here, witnessing it, it seems that they genuinely like black culture. However, the deep racist roots of Asian people towards black people, it starts at the corner store. If you're black and you've been inside of a hair salon or a hair store or gotten your nails done, you realize how deeply they don't like black people. They think they're stealing and they're destroying things. That's just a personal anecdote, but that happens so often. That's just the reality of it. Now, I'm going to provide other examples, but I'm also going to give some personal anecdotes throughout the entirety of this. So, let's keep going on the other examples. Let's see right here. You see this guy right here? It's a K-pop idol. Now, as you can see, he's colored his skin dark, and he has dreads. Now, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here and say, let's just say he's not doing blackface. Maybe he just has a dark tan. That's understandable, right? That's understandable. I can grasp that. Completely realistic to say that he just has a dark tan. And I'm going to give you that. However, let's do this one right here. Is this perhaps blackface? He's eating a watermelon. That's blackface? No, that's obviously, you don't want to consider that blackface, right? No, that's inexcusably blackface, right? That's blackface? And this is them cosplaying Snoop Dogg, right? This is them cosplaying Snoop Dogg. This is right here. This right here. That's his cosplay. That's not making fun of it. Despite on the segment they did make fun of it, right? And even in Korea, they have what this thing is called reggae hair. Right here. You can see it right here. You maybe need a better picture. Sorry about that low frame picture here. Here goes a better picture. Boom. That's reggae hair, where it's considered hair of the reggae aesthetic. Now, Korea does have a lot of characters in the back in the day where they did have a lot of racist caricatures. Like this guy right here. Let's read his description real fast. Yeah, this guy had a lot of controversy. I'm not gonna lie to you. He just had a lot of controversy about what he was. You go ahead and read that while I explain some few things here. I don't hate K-pop. I don't hate Korea. I have no issue with Korea in any capacity. As a matter of fact, when the Hoyoverse took this dance right here, when they took this dance bar for bar and put it on one of their characters, as you can see on screen right now, when they took this dance to and fro, I had genuinely no issues with it, because you can't copyright a dance move despite the fact you took bar for bar every single animation from this skater. You took it all completely. And yes, there are compilations of K-pop stars saying the N-word. 100%. You can just look it up on YouTube. It's right there. Easy work. Now, let's get to the real thing. Now that I've provided all the evidence, I can finally talk, because a lot of people are going to say, where's your evidence? I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about my personal gripes with everything. First personal gripe I want to talk about is my personal experience in Asia. I have visited China, I have visited Japan, and I have visited Korea. Let's talk about Japan first off. Japan, I had no name in Japan. Wanna know what my name was? Chris Rock. Every time they saw me, they said, oh, that's Chris Rock. That's Chris Rock. At some points, they said, oh, dude, Donkey, Shrek. Shrek, I like you. In the morning, I'm eating waffles. And they got super excited. They said, oh, they took a lot of pictures with me, because they don't see a lot of black people. I was an experience more than I was a person. I was a concept more than I was a human being to these people. And that's how it operated. I even asked one of the people who I was talking to out there, I said, would you ever date a black person? And they said, I might experience a black person, but I would not date a black person. That's a very rough translation of what she said to me. So that's exactly how it goes out there, because that's how it is in Japan. That's how it is with black culture and black people. It's hard to date out there. They date people that look similar to them. That's how it operates, because most people in Japan have black hair and very secure eyes. That's generally how it operates. Very polite. You don't look them in the eyes. They look down when they speak, because it is disrespectful to look them in the eyes. I discovered that in Japan. That's a cultural rule. If you look somebody in the eyes in Japan, it's viewed as disrespectful. I'm so used to looking somebody directly in the eyes when I talk to them, but they usually look down because it's viewed as a sign of disrespect. That's just a part of the culture out there. And that's a difference in culture, and I understand that. I grasp it. Let's talk about China. China, they were just straight racist. I have no way to describe that other than pure racism. They called me charcoal. They called me dark boy. They called me moon cricket. So many words were learned from me from being in China, and it's simply by the fact that my skin was impure. I needed to bleach my skin. Why am I so dark? I need to take a bath. My skin was dark. I'm a brute. I'm a savage. That's generally how it was. If you don't know about the racism in China towards black people, you have not been to China and you have not been black. It is astronomical. I almost am very happy. I actually am very happy that Speed went out there and actively was respected and nice out there. That was very nice. Except for that one instance in the stream where this guy right here in the floral suit mistranslated a Chinese hairdresser and said he can't do the hair because it's too unique, when he said the hair was too raggedy. That's messed up. He was just trying to spark up controversy and drama. That's evil. Speed didn't fall for it, thank God. That's very nice. Do appreciate that a lot. But this guy in the floral suit tried to cause some issues. Don't respect this guy. Don't like him at all. He was cool at first giving Speed a suit. That was really nice, but it was really just straight up disrespectful to do that by mistranslating Chinese in that capacity. Now, Korea, this is where I had the most issues. Japan, I was Chris Rock. China, horribly racist. Korea, undertones of racism. Complete way through. Complete undertones of the entirety of how I operated the entire. When I went to Jeju, they offered me horse ribs in order to help my libido. Don't know what that was about, but I did eat horse ribs. Horse ribs are very good. I met a guy who had an afro. He came up to me and said, I'm just like you. I'm just like you. And I said, I'm just like you. I'm just like you. We kept saying just like you back to each other. He took a picture with me as well. But they offered to bleach my skin 17 separate times. They said, you should get your skin bleached. You'd be respected here more. You should be like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson became beloved in Korea after he got his skin bleached. There is this deep obsession with the whitening of your skin. There's also, for some reason, a deep obsession with getting cornrows, like this guy with the pink hair got right here, and a deep obsession with getting these locks. Fake locks. This is a whole thing. G-Dragon is the biggest offender of this. He did a whole video where he had an afro and a bunch of other stuff like that. If you don't know GD, he is a idol out there as well. This is a prevalent, deep, systematic issue in Korea where they don't respect or like black people. Now, let's hear an argument that often I hear a lot of the time. I'm going to bring it up. It's a different culture. I even stated earlier it's a difference in cultures. We cannot infantilize these people when they're performing on a world stage. If you just go to Korea and you're black, they might be racist to you. That's the culture. That's okay. Whatever, right? That's fine. China, same deal. Deeply seated in there. Japan, 100%. But if you are a world idol, if you have a world stage, if you have hundreds of adoring fans that look up to you, because a lot of people see celebrities as their moral compass and their role model, even if you're not supposed to be. Even me, people look at me as their role model and their guiding compass, and I'm just some random black dude on the internet. I'm just some guy. You have an obligation, nay, a duty to people on the internet, to people in general, to carry yourself in a way that is an influence, because you are an influencer. You have that power to control and command an army of people. K-pop stans are some of the most racist people because K-pop idols do such sly BS with racism. They think it's okay. They think it's fine. They think it's perfectly fine and dandy. They think it's, oh, hunky-dory, hoppity-doo. They think it's absolutely fantastic because K-pop idols keep doing it over and over again, time and time again, every other instance. That subtle, slight racism, them saying the N-word but saying, oh, I'm not supposed to say that. One of the K-pop idols' star abilities is speaking black English. Black English. And what is black English, you might ask yourself? What's black English? Oh, I don't know what black English is. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know what black English is. Black English, you may not know this, you may be quite confused, is simply to and fro the absolute gobbledygook and nonsense speak of, oh, what's good, homie, what's cracking, what's going on, shack, lack, what's cracking, and them doing a very horrible impression of the gangster hood aesthetic. That's black English. That's what it is. Now, if you didn't know about any of this, you may be saying to yourself, I'm pretty sure in Asian culture they've had braids before. You're right, 100%, specifically in Tibet. In Tibet, they did micro braids, and the micro braids were specifically there in order to symbolize and be a part of when you're getting married. It's to hold jewels, and it's to hold beads, and they can be very long and very wide. The little micro braiding techniques were done in order for a wedding-listic ritual. It's very symbolic, the hairstyle it is. Now, personally, I think you should have whatever hairstyle you want to. I personally don't have any issues with people having whatever hairstyle they want to. I really don't. My issue stems from the disrespect of black people by loving black culture but not the people. It's seeing us as a caricature more than a person. We're an aesthetic more than we are an actual unit. Now, you may not know this, but Germany's darkest part of history is actually really respected in Korea. Now, this happens in America too. People just for some reason love the aesthetic of the army suits, but in Korea it was a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's like a whole movement here. It was insane. Because the fits go hard, and I will not lie, fits kind of go hard. Fits go hard. I'm not gonna deny that the fits go crazy. You ever see Raido Kuzunoa? That's not Nazi-esque. It's not at all, but it does look hard and close to the imperialistic nature of what the Nazi-esque party represented. That's how I rock. I think it looks sick. That's my thought process. I think it looks cool. My bad. I can't have an opinion. I apologize. I thought this was America, but I keep seeing people garner up a divvy amount of excuses for these K-pop idols for them doing this. And my biggest thing is black people make a lot of stuff. The term unk has been used to describe me by young white kids. They call me unk because I'm old. We have been saying unk since the movie Friday, even before the movie Friday. Friday is a very old movie. Very, very old. It's one of the symbolic pieces of black culture. Unk became more popularized recently. YNs. Young niggas. YNs. They say YN because they can't say the N-word, but we know what it means. We grasp what it means. We understand that. That has been a term for 30 years, and it has become popular recently. Young buck. Young buck is a term that's coming back in popularization. Boy, for some odd reason, is coming back in popular terms. very old AAVE. Pookie. If you remember Pookie, Pookie was a term used by black people in an adoring manner in order to reference their lovers or fiancés in that capacity. Pookie was for a long time used and represented in many capacities. Ludwig used it, Squeaks used it, Asmongold used it once. Everybody's used the word Pookie. Oh, Pookie, what's going on, Pookie? That's what happened. Old AAVE, that is outdated, becomes new Zoomer speak in the public zeitgeist. That's what happens. Riz just means charisma. Riz charisma. That's what happens when you have charisma. Soon, we're going to bring back selling wolf tickets. If you don't know what wolf tickets is, that simply means selling lies. Cuz he's selling wolf tickets. Boom. The boy who cried wolf selling wolf tickets is the whole thing. That may become popular again. That's what happens. Black people make something popular, then it gets cannibalized by other cultures, and then it becomes popular to everybody else. But we never get credit for it. And I'm not asking for credits or credentials. I'm saying make your own shit sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you. At this point, it's becoming ridiculous. I feel like, and we're going to keep making new stuff, right? We're going to keep allowing Jack Harlow in the space and making hip hop. We're going to keep doing all these things. We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it making it more powerful and chaotic and expressive. And that's what we're going to do. Time and time again. That's what happened with K-pop. K-pop is wildly popular. Because you know what K-pop really is? K-pop is black music and black culture for people who hate black people. If you don't like black people, or if you hated black people growing up, or if you are black and were hated by black people because you were a bit musty or bullied on, you may grip on the K-pop or even anime aesthetic culture. And I know in this culture, I know that a bunch of people in America take Japanese, Asian culture and go to hell and high water by pushing it and saying, it's the perfect culture, I'm loving this. And you cannibalize it. You put it to a high pedestal. You know what Todd Howard did to Skyrim. You remaster it and remake it and make it your own thing until everybody gets sick of it. I'm talking about you, weeaboos. I know what you are. That's what happens. And it sucks. Oh, it sucks like garbage, dude. It happens in most cultures when another culture is worshipped to such a high degree, but they don't respect the people. It's disgusting. Now, there's a fine line between appropriation and appreciation. There's a fine line between those things. And I have no way to differentiate those things because I will not ever gauge or guess your intent behind doing something. But I can point out blatant disrespect. When I see something is blatant disrespect, I'm going to point it out. I just know what it is. I know. I know when a culture is not being deeply respectful. I know when they're making fun of me. I'm not an idiot. I grasp it. And a lot of people will say it's just jokes. Good. I'm happy that it's just jokes. However, a joke can be constructed amazingly. A joke can be outstanding and still have horrible narrative content. It could be a good joke, but have shit narrative content. Easily. It sure can. Without a shadow of a doubt. A joke at the expense of an entire group of people, that's just dark humor. Of course. You think Jesus used those handholds as pocket pussies? You ever think that? You ever think Jesus Christ was like, yeah, I'm about to use it as a pocket pussy. That's what I'm about to do. You ever think Jesus Christ was like, all right, I'm gonna feel what she feels. So he put his hand through the behind of a prostitute and then boom, let some guy go to town on a girl in order to guide her through the way of Jesus Christ. You ever think he did that? You think he tried to pleasure himself with those handholds? Was that a good joke? That was at the expense of an entire religion. Was that a good joke? That's a great joke, right? It's funny. It's dark humor, right? Dark humor, obviously. Obviously. You think white people get upset when we say they can't cook? You say they own most of the country but still can't jump? You ever think that? How you have an advantage you still poor? Isn't that garbage? Isn't that ass? Isn't that garbage? Isn't that suck? Man, that's ass. How you have white privilege you still broke? That's ass, isn't it? That's a fun joke, isn't it? At the expense of another culture. At the expense of what you are. You see the reason why I'm targeting the bigger groups, I'm punching up. Reason I'm doing that is very simple and easy. If you got angry or offended by the Christian joke or the white joke, and you tried to defend your stance by saying that it's just a joke in the comment section just now, try to do that, you're a part of the problem. you're a part of the bigger issue, is what I'm telling you right now. That's the part I want to get kicked out. There are amazing jokes, and I'm not saying you can't joke, obviously, but if you are on a world stage, if you are representing an entire company, an entire culture, an entire people, if you are representing it, maybe not do that. Do it in the comfort of your home. I don't give a damn. But to post it everywhere, to put it everywhere, to make a joke at the expense on a world stage, your fans are going to see it. People are going to see it. If you want to joke with your friends, fine. If you want to joke with your niche group online, fine. Do what you got to do. 100%, I don't care. Because I don't have to interact with it. But if I want to join a group, if I want to join K-pop and become a fan of that, want to join VTubing and become a fan of that, and the first thing I experience is that my people are hated in this space, the fuck did I do? Well, you're black. Okay. Your people are just violent. Am I? I didn't know that. Thank you. I didn't know this about my people. Thank you for this information. You're responsible for 70% of the crime. I think we could be responsible for 100% of the crime. Then a black person tells me, we can't, have systematic racism. We don't have that power. I think if we try hard enough, we can have systematic racism. I say we're not trying hard enough. That's what I say. I'm disgusted by the nonsense of the K-pop industry and the deep roots of Asian racism towards black people. It's insane. Disgusting. My brain is empty now. Thank you.